Hi, this is Dr. Laura Grace, and I'm back to talk with you about a common dream theme, which has to do with teeth falling out. And the reason why I do these videos, and I'm trying to break a pattern of being a perfectionist. So some of my videos I've had where they're somewhat professionally taped, and right now I'm just going to start getting down to the gritty and talking to you and bringing these videos on a regular basis. So I'm just going to be more informal about it, all right? Because I really want to get the information to you. The reason why is because our dreams are so incredibly powerful. And you have an idea of that, or you would even be tuning into my video today. But I want to make my whole goal, my whole platform of my YouTube videos for dreams is to make it so you clearly understand what your dreams are trying to tell you. So today we're going to break it down into the topic of teeth falling out. I just recently had a woman, she's about 30 years old, and we met, and she found out what one of the things that I do, which is dream analysis, and immediately shared that her teeth falling out is not only a common dream theme for her, but it really scares her because it happens so often. So we're going to break it down today. Teeth falling out, swollen lips, issues around the chin area, distorted tongue, all of that has to do with the area of speech, all right? So if we were looking at this from the energy centers of the chakras, we'll be talking about the seat of communication, the fifth energy center. When you're having dreams like this, what we always want to pay attention to is our language. You know, we have patterns of a language that we use in different ways. One is when we're talking to other people, you know, we have our own use of words that we're comfortable with, that we convey in conversation. And then we have another pattern language, and that's on the inside. That's the inner talk. That's our self-talk, the things that we say to ourselves. And for many people, what we say to ourselves is not very kind. In fact, you know, when I was going through a process of growth and really turning inward and doing that deep dive into trying to understand why I do certain things that I do. And one of the things that I first knew that I really felt guided to look at was my self-talk. And, you know, it's amazing. If you really look at what you say to yourself throughout the day, it's unbelievable because we're often much more critical toward ourselves and saying negative things about ourselves that we would never say to another person. And when I was going through this process of the power of language and self-talk, I began to notice that I am much kinder to people that I might encounter on the street or in the store or at the park or on the beach than I am to myself. So when we're having these dreams about teeth falling out, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at what we've been saying to other people. So if you have the dream about something going on around the mouth, say yesterday, then the day before, all right, look at what you were saying. Now, and you know, what I'm bringing to you is just about self-awareness. There's no right or wrong here. There's no judgment on this, but just notice what you were saying out loud to somebody that you hang out with about maybe somebody else. Sometimes when teeth are falling out in dream time, it's because we're gossiping about somebody. We're saying something critical about somebody behind their back. Other times when teeth are falling out or the tongue is swollen or the lips are distorted or any of that's happening again around this part of the mouth, right? It's all about speech and communication. Then we need to look at what we were saying to somebody maybe that we're in relationship with, you know, that we've been critical toward. Maybe we said something to somebody and it didn't seem like a big deal to us, but turns out they took it personally or it hurt their feelings. We didn't intend it to be that way, but that's how it came out. These dreams are trying to show you what you're saying, and not just what you're saying, but the effect your speech is having on somebody else. All right. So first we want to look at, if we're having teeth falling out dreams, what have we been saying to people about somebody else, maybe behind their back, or what have we been saying to somebody that we're in relationship with? It could be a partner, it could be a coworker, it could be a family member, it could be a friend. What did we say to that person the day before we had that dream? Because keep in mind, your dreams are always about the present situation. I mean, it might be something coming up in your present life that goes way back, a pattern that started, you know, many, many, many years ago, and has its roots there. But the dream time is about the current situation. So notice if you had the dream about teeth falling out, what did you say the day before? Just, you know, and this is not about getting down on yourself. This isn't about judging. This is all about self-awareness, right? That self-awareness is always the first step. We become aware, we process it, and then we make decisions and action to choose differently. This is how we learn and we grow, right? So that's part one. Notice your speech, what you've been saying, who you've been saying it to, maybe the effect it's been having on other people. And then the second step is, if none of that resonates to the dream that you hadn't been saying anything about anybody else, or you hadn't said anything that might have come out in a critical or negating way to somebody else, notice your self-talk. You know, I want to pause here for a moment. The power of language and what we say to ourselves is at the root of how we then behave throughout the day. If you notice, or in how we feel, if you notice, like later on today, you start to get angry about something, just pay attention to what you are saying to yourself prior to those feelings, because they're directly related. They're directly related. Notice the self-talk. Start, you know, I really encourage people on their phone or through a journal, for just the course of a few days, just start with a day. Just write down what you said to yourself as you went throughout the day. These tie into your dreams. These are what these dreams are about. So often, and you know, and they tie into actually what we say about other people, right? It's all connected. So if you're feeling anxious later today, or angry about something, or you get sad and are starting to feel depressed, notice the language, the self-talk, the words that you were using about yourself. No one, I promise you, is harder on you than you, right? And those of us who have perfectionistic traits, like I'm working on overcoming, have some of the harshest, most critical self-talk of anyone on the planet. It's not fun to be inside our heads. We may be really polite and kind and actually compassionate toward other people, but when it comes to us, to moi, we could be vicious. And so that's what these dreams are about. So if you're having recurring dreams of teeth falling out, then a really good practice is to start noticing, just pure non-judgmental awareness, what you're saying to yourself. Because you might have been criticized at a very young age, but what happens is over time, we deepen those grooves over and over again to where the self-talk and the criticism is much worse than it was when we were growing up. We're very hard on ourselves. And so we want to, and that kind of harshness can lead to really self-destructive behaviors, like using, you know, drinking and drugs and other forms of addiction to numb out that really harsh self-talk, right? That's a lot of why we do what we do in terms of when it goes to escaping, getting really busy, getting, you know, going shopping, getting so engrossed in our work. Often is because we're trying to numb out that self-talk. So I hope you find this helpful. That's what these dreams around teeth, crooked teeth, teeth falling out. And again, a lot of times people are tongue-tied, or the lips are really large and distorted. Or I've had people tell me that their chin feels like it's about to fall off, or it has fallen off in dream and hit the floor. And they're like, what the heck is going on? It's about speech. It's the external speech. It's the internal speech. And these two are very, very connected in what comes out in dream time. So if you want more information, check out my other videos or my book. I'm at www.lauragrace.net, on Amazon, on YouTube, Instagram. Check me out. If you like what you're hearing, if you find this helpful, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Namaste.